What caused you to fall in love with hip hop?
Oh man, at such an early age, I had to be at least maybe young, like 4 or 5. I was raised by a single parent. She took me to all of the basement parties. So I remember just hearing, all those kind of hip hop, classics, and just being in love at just a very early age. And then growing up, a lot of times if she was at work, I'd be at home a lot. So watching TV, BET, MTV, VH1, listening to the radio. So I feel like hip hop, had a part in raising me as well.
Definitely. And I also want to give you flowers because I know you were talking about kind of, when you were being young and, kind of the OGs were kind of keeping you out of trouble. I can definitely tell that you have that same mentality with the young people, because I want to say I'm very impressed and just proud of the work you're doing with Young and Informed, uplifting those 2 young brothers.
Yeah, those are my guys, and it's so crazy how the universe works, because they're pops. They're from Lawton, right where I'm from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And their pops was a young brother listening to my music. You know what I mean? And then I met these guys, and I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. And it's like, damn. I mean, their pops is my man. Their uncle is my man. It's like the universe just works so crazy. And Young Informed is the reason why I didn't go to that FM channel upstate New York, because I wanted them to be a part of the show. But there was so much calamity going on at that station that I didn't want to bring these young brothers in to that type of environment so young. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to do it without them. So I just let it go. You know what I mean? Just let it go. You got to lead by example, So yeah, those guys, man, they got a bright future, and I definitely want to help them all I can.
Started off with some amazing, videos of you guys, and I heard that you guys do that editing on your own too.
Yeah, we do. We put it into CapCut and we chef up the video ourselves. Yeah.
Wow, and you got some bar work going on too. Now you guys doing the writing too on that?
Yeah, we do our own writing. Actually, speaking of music, we do our own writing. We have been writing rhymes since we were young, way before we found out about Instagram and all that stuff. But then for me, I liked to produce beats when I was younger. So I used to, at first I used GarageBand, but then my dad showed me FL Studio. And I actually have to get back to doing that more. I have to get back to making beats more because it's a fun activity for me.
Yeah, definitely. You got to get into that. You might have some artists be like, hey, we need some beats, from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And for me, I do love instruments and making, but I also like boomboxing. It's like...
Okay. That's wonderful. And we were kind of talking behind the scenes, but let the crowd know how old you guys are, first of all.
So my name is Noah and I am 13 years old.
My name is Matthew and I am 12 years old.
Yes, so see, they told their ages because let's set the record straight. Yes, they are brothers, but they are not twins.
Yes, we are not twins.
We are not twins.
Way too many people on the street have called us twins. We are not twins.
Yes, we definitely had to set that straight, and you guys are doing, like I was saying in the introduction, so many incredible things. We got Young Informed Media here. So how did that begin? What was the beginnings of that?
So, the beginnings of Young Informed Media, it really roots back to when Matthew and I were in elementary school. So when we were in elementary school, every February, every Black History Month, our grandmother would present to our schools what she did with Rosa Parks, because our grandmother had done personal business with Rosa Parks, and not just business, they were like close. They were like family to each other. So every Black History Month, our grandmother would come and teach the kids what schools weren't teaching kids about Rosa Parks. So Matthew and I, since that was our grandmother, we would help her with the presentation. But in the beginning of COVID, when the pandemic began, we decided since we couldn't go and do it in person, that we would host a Zoom meeting and ask her questions about Rosa Parks and present that to the school. So after we finished that sort of interview, that's how when we saw the result, we were amazed. We were like, whoa, we could really do something with this. And so that's how Young and Informed began, and it really rooted from our first interview, which created our Conversations With podcast.
Wow. Well, it's a wonderful podcast. I got to tell you guys, you guys got to go to YouTube. You'll find, Young Informed Media LLC, Conversations with Noah and Matthew. Let me tell you, you guys do incredible interview work. You do your research on the people. You give them their time to speak. You guys do greater interviews than I've seen some adults do.
Well, we really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Your sons too, Noah and Matthew, because they're doing incredible things because of you. I'm going to tell you, you are a phenomenal father. Just, their actions, everything they're doing, that's because of you. I see that they participate in everything that you do. So do you want to just kind of talk about fatherhood?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, fatherhood, is just, that's where I found my light. I found my way out of the dark. I found my purpose. I found my reason for living. It was before that, it was growing up in Southside and growing up in Queens and everything that was going on around the way at the time that I grew up. And being aware in those 80s and that crack era. And seeing all the destruction and seeing them. All the people that you love, just families just destroying. They're right on your block, crumbling around you, and trying to get through it. I had to numb myself, and fatherhood was where I could feel again. You know what I'm saying? When my sons were born, the moment they put my oldest into my arms, I always tell people it was like fatherhood was downloaded into me, like the Matrix. It was like, swoop. And I felt this confidence and security that I never felt before, that I never had before. And it was more about, I have no choice. I don't have a choice to fail now. I don't have a choice. I don't even, I have it easier than a lot of other people because I don't have a choice. So there is no failure for option because those two boys are dependent on me. And so that energy just went, and even my family was looking at me like, yo, what got into you, man? Like you're moving like a motor train. I'm like, man, I'm on a mission, and there's so much information being downloaded into my brain simultaneously. I gotta get moving because it's overwhelming. So there's certain things that are happening now that was downloaded years ago that I knew I had to mobilize and knew I was touched and blessed to be a guidance for these two young kings coming up, and I tell them all the time, I'm their father, I'm their dad, but I'm not their ultimate father. Their ultimate father is God. So I'm imperfect, and I will trip up, and don't put all your eggs in basket on me, but I will be but I am a guide for you, and so I have a part to play, and until you get to that point where you take it on from there. So, that's, fatherhood has just been a blessing for me. It's been a blessing. It's made me stronger. It's taught me a lot of things. Like we talked about on the, Write Your Own History TV podcast, and people, go watch that brother's powerful brother. It was where, when they went to school is where my greatest fight was. And people, you think like school, like my greatest fight was in elementary school, to make sure they came out of elementary school aware, they kept keeping their light, confident, strong, and not be destroyed by the system. As young, Black brothers coming up, because there's a lot of things that happen in there at such a fragile age. You would not believe how they'll attack your kids and try to destroy them with the little microaggressions and little things, a little bit at a time, take their confidence away. And so I had to be there standing strong and back all that down and develop a reputation that, not his kids, because he's going to speak up. He doesn't care. He's not you know, and so it was that empowered me to have more confidence in myself and be proud of the protection that I was able to provide them.
I love it. You know, that's a positive thing. You know, parenthood. You know, even me as a parent. You know, as a mother. You know, I'm almost got teary-eyed because
So how did the name Mikey D come about?
The name Mikey D, well, back when I started rapping in 79, maybe 80, somewhere like that, it was cool to have one of those letters at the end of your name. It was like Slick C or Cool G or, you know, they had the skis in the letter. So I started out Mikey D. Not realizing my last name is Deering, D-E-E-R-I-N-G. So when I was Mikey D, it all worked out. So I stuck with that name, you know, so it represents me well, man.
Do you remember when you fell in love with hip hop?
Said it was like 79 or 80, somewhere in between that. I was 12 going on 13. Next door to us, there was a wonderful lady, Miss Parks. She had 2 grandsons. These guys were from Harlem. So this one year, Derek, we call him D-Money. He had a tape that he stole from his big brother. We were sitting on the stoop right next door to my grandmother, and he played the tape. I think it was Grandmaster Caz from the Cold Crush on this tape, and it might have even been, the legendary battle with Kool Moe Dee and Busy B. When I heard that, it was the first time I heard it. We didn't know what it was, but all I knew is that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. We rewound that tape over and over and over again. We listened to it all day. And then when I went next door, I wrote my very first rhyme, and it was called Kim, because on that tape, Grandmaster Caz said a rhyme about a girl named Yvette. He told this story where you can see what he was talking about. So I emulated that and wrote a rhyme about a girl named Kim.
At Young Informed Media LLC, new movement, kids empowering people, because we are the future and the future is now. You already know. Let's go. Came into this rap game when I was 6. 8 years later, about 14, bars inspire your kids. I was humble in the basement, where every basement an opportunity for a poor opportunity to get hit. Not paying homage to us, hip-hop kids, when taking the toll. We bridge the gap, designer gap kids. This is just a look into how I live. Fed by hunger whenever, over a beat I bled. Now I take iron, horse, plotting my course. Straight to school, young elite, nowhere Uber dad, cause that beat, making sure he rests. Junior high to early college, you could say that I passed the test, experiencing life, even through death. I shout out sleep in peace, auntie, while with confidence and beat my chest. A resolution will cause a revolution. Time to clean up this mess, that's the solution. Did I not entertain? I keep walking with confidence and beat my chest. Resolution cause a revolution, clean up this mess. We keep walking with confidence and beat my chest. Resolution cause a revolution, clean up this mess. We keep walking with confidence and beat my chest. Resolution cause a revolution, clean up this mess. We keep walking with confidence and beat my chest. Resolution cause a revolution, clean up this mess.